A former defense secretary is calling on the Biden administration to make its stance clear, whether it would come to Taiwan's defense should Beijing launch an invasion. Here's more.
Former U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper is calling on Washington to reevaluate its one China policy. He says it's now useless.
The one China policy has outlived its usefulness, that it is time to move away from strategic ambiguity. I think it's important that we begin that national discussion back in the United States.
During the Chinese Civil War, Taiwan's current government fled from mainland China, where the Chinese Communist Party later took power. Despite that, Beijing sees Taiwan as part of its territory, even though the communist regime never ruled the island. Beijing has also threatened to take Taiwan by force. The U.S. doesn't have formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan, but Washington is required by law to provide the island with the means to defend itself. The U.S. also maintains a strategy called strategic ambiguity. It means Washington does not make clear whether it would come to Taiwan's defense in the case of a Chinese invasion. But calls to change that stance have grown as the Chinese regime ramps up its military development and persists in its threat to take Taiwan by force. Esper points to the urgency.
The greatest challenge facing the democracies of the West today is not in Russia. It is here in Asia, where China continues to challenge the rule-based international order. Taiwan is on the front lines. It is important that the democracies of the West stand up and defend thriving democracies such as Taiwan against the bullying.
In response, Taiwan's president thanked Esper for his support.
The strength of alliances between democratic partners must be strengthened to work together to defend peace and the values of democratic freedom.
Back in Washington, the U.S. Senate Foreign Affairs Committee is expected to review a bill in August. Called the Taiwan Policy Act, the bipartisan bill aims to revamp Washington's Taiwan policy. Sponsors include Senator Bob Menendez, a Democrat, and Senator Lindsey Graham, a Republican. Both say the bill would push the most comprehensive restructuring of U.S. policy toward Taiwan in over 4 decades. If passed, the rule would require the president to slap sanctions on Chinese officials and the head of the Communist Party in the case that Beijing invades Taiwan. It would also provide Taiwan with $4.5 billion in military assistance over the next 4 years.